Alton here, man versus maintenance. And I wanted to talk today about, it seems like right now in the maintenance industry that it's such a high turnover rate. And I remember back in the day when trying to get a maintenance job was, I wouldn't say impossible, but it was pretty hard to get into the business because maintenance men, they didn't quit. But it seems that now, no matter what property or what company it is, it seems like that there's just so much of a high turnover rate, and I wanted to go ahead and address this topic. I think I got some theories behind it, and I think the first theory is that around 2008, I'll probably say 2007, 2008, the housing market went down here in Atlanta. And I don't know how it is for everyone else in the maintenance industry or other states or other cities or anything like that. But I know here in Atlanta, the housing market hit pretty bad here. It took a toll on a lot of the people living in Atlanta. I know a lot of people who came from my hometown, Fort Lauderdale, who moved up here, but by the time 2009, 2010 came around, they had already moved back because jobs were scarce and the housing market was just bad. The first theory of why the housing market is so bad is number one, that because of the housing market. What happened was that you had a lot of guys, tradesmen, such as me, started out doing HVAC in 2002 until around 2008 when the housing market was bad. The HVAC industry kind of went down along with it because you don't have, or you didn't have too many people who are owning homes anymore, and people who own homes didn't make enough money to where they didn't want to fork out the extra $4,000 or $5,000 just to get their air conditioner running. So they weren't looking for big companies to come out and service their units. They only wanted to maybe pay no more than $150 to $200 to get their unit up and going, and then they'll worry about it the next season. But also, when you think about other major trades such as electrical, plumbing, those industries kind of went down too. So a lot of these companies who actually had these tradesmen, they were forced to lay guys off. And I was one of those guys who got laid off in the HVAC industry, and I got into apartment maintenance. And the maintenance industry, they were hiring. A lot of owners or people with money were going around buying up rental homes and rental properties. So they needed maintenance men, but they didn't want to pay the contractors to come out and do things like HVAC repairs, electrical plumbing, things of that nature. So what eventually happened was that you had the market is now flooded with guys, skilled tradesmen, such as myself. So the apartment community or the property management companies were looking for skilled tradesmen. And they got a lot of these guys who came in, they did their jobs, and instead of paying the contractors the big bucks, now you got guys on your team who are doing it for a flat hourly wage. So I'll probably say fast forward to around maybe 2014, the housing market here in Atlanta has started to pick up, and a lot of those skilled tradesmen are going back into their desired field. So now the only guys who are left in the maintenance industry are guys who are probably only been in the industry for maybe a couple of years. And some of these guys don't really know much. And I'll probably say a lot of these guys don't really know much about the business. And I think it's because a lot of these guys they were kind of under the hedge or under the wing of these skilled tradesmen. So they really didn't have to do much. But now that these skilled tradesmen have gone back into their trades, HVAC system, or properly change out a toilet or water heater if need be. Eventually those guys mess up and they quit, go somewhere else, do the same thing all over again. I remember back in the day when I first got into doing property maintenance, it was nothing for a guy to put in 10 years on a property. I mean, that was just the days that it was back then. But I also think that once these skilled tradesmen started coming into the industry, I think a lot of companies caught on to that and they decided to kind of take advantage of that, pay guys pretty decent, and guys who didn't have the skilled trades, I think they kind of overlooked them a little bit, or they kind of dropped their pay. And it got to a point to where I think a lot of these companies, they looked at that as a way to capitalize on the situation. There were times to where I was at companies and they wanted to pay me, small amounts of money to take care of the property, to do HVAC, to do major plumbing and electrical. Some of these properties are crap properties and they didn't want to pay much, but they wanted me to do everything. I did everything from subfloors, sheetrock repairs, trying to fix and repair main drains. There's a lot of stuff that I've tried to do, that I've had to do. Even in one of my videos you saw where, we had to try to snake a building with that little snake that we had, all types of stuff that we had to try to do. But now I think that is kind of taking a toll on the industry. You got a lot of these guys who are out in the field, they don't know much. They don't even know the basics of some of these skilled trades such as electrical, plumbing, and HVAC. But now these companies, they realize that they're not really going to keep many guys, paying them, trying to pay a guy, $16, $17 an hour to be a supervisor when that worked, when jobs were scarce. It was common to see a maintenance supervisor making $16, $17 an hour in Atlanta, where back in the day, maintenance supervisors made about $24, $25 an hour, starting out. So some of these guys were, making a huge amount of money. But now I'm starting to see that a lot of companies, they're kind of starting to reach into their pockets a little more and pay guys a little more. But right now, it's so hard to find good help. Like even me, when I have to interview some of these guys, some of these guys, they come in, they say that they know stuff, and then they work with you for about a week, kind of find out they know nothing. You can't send them on certain calls. You can't trust them to do anything because they really don't know anything. They will soup up their resume and make it seem like that they know so much about the business, and they really don't. And it's almost like you're playing Russian roulette. And that's one of the struggles that I'm going through right now. Trying to find some pretty good help. Trying to find a guy who's knowledgeable in the business. And all of the guys that I know that are knowledgeable in the business, they already have jobs. And a couple of guys are willing to come work with me. Some guys who are supervisors, and they want to come work with me, and they're just like, man, listen, I'll just work as a tech up under you, because some of these guys own crap properties, and they want them to do everything. And sometimes, you burn your guys out, and that's another point, or another reason why there's such a high turnover rate. Some of these companies have really burnt guys out with the on-call and them being down a tech or two, and then that supervisor basically has to be the tech, the groundsman, and do his position as well. So any one of you guys kind of have the same, or are basically observing the same thing that I observe with the high turnover rate in this industry, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Share this video, comment on it, let me know what you guys think, and I'll go ahead and I'll keep these videos rolling. So, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I try to put at least a video or two a week up, and I'm always trying to keep you guys with fresh new content, especially some of the things that I'm going through right now. Nothing bad, but just kind of give you guys an insight on how my days look or how my weeks look typically doing this type of work. So like I said, thumbs up, comment, share, and you guys have a blessed day.